Royal titles are among the oldest symbols of power and prestige, but history shows that even the most noble names can be taken away, from scandals and wars to forbidden marriages and abdications. Here are 7 royals who lost their titles, and the dramatic stories behind each fall from grace. Prince Andrew, formerly the Duke of York. In October 2025, Buckingham Palace confirmed that Prince Andrew, the second son of Queen Elizabeth II, would no longer hold any royal titles. He had already given up his Duke of York title earlier that year, following years of public backlash over his ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and the sexual abuse allegations made by Virginia Giuffre, who passed away in April 2025. Now officially known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the 65-year-old was also asked to leave his residence at the Royal Lodge in Windsor. It marks one of the most severe title removals in modern royal history, a complete erasure of princely status. Prince Charles Edward, Duke of Albany. Next, we go back more than a century. Prince Charles Edward, grandson of Queen Victoria, unexpectedly became the Duke of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha in Germany at just 15 years old. But when World War I broke out, Charles Edward fought for Germany, not Britain. That decision cost him dearly. In 1917, under the Titles Deprivation Act, King George V stripped him of all his British titles, including Duke of Albany, Earl of Clarence, and Baron Arklow. He remained in Germany for the rest of his life, eventually joining the Nazi Party, further darkening his legacy. King Edward VIII, the Duke of Windsor. One of the most famous cases of title loss came with King Edward VIII, who abdicated the throne in 1936. Edward's love for Wallis Simpson, a twice-divorced American, created a constitutional crisis. Refusing to give her up, Edward gave up the crown instead. His brother became King George VI, while Edward was given the courtesy title Duke of Windsor. However, Wallis was denied the style Her Royal Highness, a snub that remained a lifelong source of bitterness for both. They spent their later years in France, living in quiet exile, far from the throne he once ruled. Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Before marrying the future Queen Elizabeth II, Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark had to renounce his foreign titles. He became a naturalized British citizen, taking the surname Mountbatten, and only then was he allowed to marry Princess Elizabeth in 1947. Her father, King George VI, granted him new titles, Duke of Edinburgh, Earl of Merioneth, and Baron Greenwich. Years later, in 1957, the Queen made him a prince once again, this time as Prince of the United Kingdom. Philip's story is one of sacrifice, giving up royal status for love, and earning a new one through service. Prince Michael of Kent. Prince Michael of Kent, a first cousin of Queen Elizabeth II, lost his place in the line of succession in 1978 when he married a Catholic, Baroness Marie-Christine von Reibnitz. At the time, the Act of Settlement 1701 barred anyone who married a Roman Catholic from inheriting the throne. Though he kept his princely title, Michael was excluded from the line of succession, a rule that wasn't overturned until 2013 under the Succession to the Crown Act. It was a quiet but historic example of how royal tradition sometimes clashes with personal choice. Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. In 2020, Prince Harry and his wife, Meghan Markle, stepped back from their roles as senior working royals. In doing so, they agreed not to use their HRHs, Her Royal Highness titles, and to stop receiving public funding. They retained their formal titles, Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Earl and Countess of Dumbarton, and Baron and Baroness Kilkeel, but effectively live as private citizens in the United States. It's a modern royal story, one not of scandal or punishment, but of a couple choosing independence over tradition. Prince Johan Friso of the Netherlands. Finally, in the Netherlands, Prince Johan Friso, the second son of Queen Beatrix, gave up his right to the throne in 2003 to marry Mabel Wismit. Her past association with a Dutch crime figure caused a political uproar, leading the government to withhold official approval of their marriage. Friso went ahead anyway, losing his royal title as a constitutional member of the Dutch royal family. He became known simply as Prince Johan Friso of Orange-Nassau, a prince by courtesy only. Tragically, in 2012, he was caught in an avalanche while skiing in Austria and died a year later at age 44. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below which royal story surprised you the most. If you enjoyed